aristocracy marries on a weekday to show they do not have to work. Because of this, the entire nation of UK was off work on the day of the wedding, which actually resulted in an estimated £6 billion loss in productivity. The monarchy has weathered its share of high-profile scandals through the years, but none as shocking as the latest child abuse scandal currently rocking the highest levels of power. In 2011, UK's beloved disc jockey and TV star Jimmy Savile died. Once idolized as a radio TV personality, he was, by many Brits, considered to be a national treasure. Jimmy bragged about his close relationship with the royal family and was even knighted by the Queen in 1990. 1 year after the UK mourned his passing, widely publicized reports began to surface claiming the man so many looked up to and admired had been a serial rapist of prepubescent boys and girls and even some adults. Within months, reports poured into local police stations with horrific rape accusations against the star.
The numbers are bewildering. 450 people have come forward. 328 were children at the time. 214 crimes have been reported, 34 rapes. The youngest victim was 8. And on it goes. Hundreds must have known something.
This guy was a record-breaking pedophile who preyed on victims who were in their weakest state, many recovering in hospitals or locked in mental facilities where he volunteered.
Savile's abuse continued wherever he went. 50 allegations were made of abuse in 13 hospitals and in one hospice, the Wheatfield Hospice in Leeds, and claims of abuse in 14 schools and, of course, at the BBC.
His relationship with the royal family was even closer than Savile himself let on. He was known to have been a go-between between Prince Charles and Princess Diana while their marriage was on the rocks. He was photographed multiple times with Prince Charles, and he even invited guests to parties on Prince Charles's behalf. Prince Charles even dined at Savile's home and sent him gifts.
Jimmy Savile, child procurer to the elite. He was procuring children for Ted Heath on his yacht Morning Cloud from the now infamous children's home on Jersey. But he was, by his own words, introduced. This guy's a disc jockey. And in the end, he wasn't even that. But in his own words, he was introduced into the inner sanctum of the royal family by Lord Mountbatten in the 1960s, the mentor of Prince Philip and Prince Charles, and
he said to do favors. I can get them things.
Yeah, Mountbatten is a known paedophile. He was involved in paedophilia at places like the King Cora Boys Home in Belfast and what have you. And you know, ask this question. Media, ask yourself this question. What is an aging disc jockey doing in the inner sanctum of the royal family, so close that, by his own words, and I know this from other sources who were very close friends of Princess Diana for 9 years before she died, that he was asked by them to be the go-between and the mediator between Diana and Charles when their marriage was breaking down. What's going on? And I'll tell you how I knew about Savile. This is a very, very interesting story. In 1997, 98, I was asked to go to a little meeting at the House of Lords. I'd never even been into the House of Lords. I didn't know what I was going into. And it was just a small group of people. And we just had a chat in the afternoon. But there was somebody there who wasn't from the House of Lords who was saying some very interesting things about the death of Princess Diana. This was about 98, not long after it happened. And I called her over afterwards. I said, how do you know all that? And she says, well, my best friend was the best friend of Diana for 9 years. And they fell out about 2 years before Diana died. She said, I think she'll talk to you. A few weeks later, or days later, she arrives on the island where I live, and I've got all this on tape. It's still at home on tape. What she told me in 1998 was the way that the royal family treated Diana, that Jimmy Savile was on the inner sanctum of the royal family, and Princess Diana called him a sleazebag, and that he was a necrophiliac.
A teenage boy working at Buckingham Palace revealed he was groomed and sexually abused by a VIP paedophile ring there.
During their marital dispute, whenever Savile would come to Prince Charles's office, he would rub his bottom lip from the bottom of the female assistant's arm all the way up to the elbow. Not only was Savile a record-breaking pedophile himself, he was a procurer of children for the elite circles into which he was invited. He was brought into the inner sanctum by Lord Mountbatten, who is himself linked to a children's home scandal in Belfast and whose huge child porn collection is locked away in the Royal Archive.
The authors of War of the Windsors state that Lord Louis